Hello guys, in this video we are going to discuss the types of polynomial based on the number of term in it, right? So depending on how many terms are there in the given polynomial, there are three types of polynomial which we study in the standard. Okay, the first among them is a monomial. What is the meaning of this word monomial? Monomial means it has only one term. For an example, if I consider this x has only one term, right? Correct? Similarly, if you observe this 5, is it a polynomial first of all? The answer is yes, because this is also known as a constant polynomial. We here the variable x, y, z, any variable, suppose the variable is x, has a power of 0. Correct? So it has only one term, which is at the variable x, suppose for now. Okay, so since it has one term, it is known as a monomial. Mono means a single. Correct? Similarly, other type of polynomial based on number of term on it is known as a binomial. Bi means two, means there should be two terms. Okay, for an example, x raised to 4 plus x. This is a polynomial which has two terms. Correct? So when I say there are two terms, means there is a plus sign which separate this x raised to 4 with x. Whenever you see plus or minus sign, the terms will get separated. How do we count number of terms? So we just check x raised to 4 is a one term, plus means after this there will be some other term. So x here will be the second term. So there are two terms, so it is known as a binomial. Similarly, x plus 1. There are two terms, hence it is known as a binomial. Okay. Similarly, there is another type which we study, that is known as a trinomial. Okay, what is the meaning of trinomial? Tri means three. So there are three terms in the given polynomial. Okay, so this is the one term. After this, there is another term and the other term. Total three terms are there. So it is an example of trinomial polynomial. Okay. Similarly, 1 plus x raised to 7 plus x raised to 9. It has three terms in it. So it is also example of a trinomial. Okay, so based on number of terms, there are three types that we study in the standard. There are monomial, binomial and trinomial. Okay, now we are going to learn what is known as the power of term. I have wrote two examples based on which we will understand what is the power of terms. Okay, if you observe, we just now learned these two are the examples of trinomial polynomial, since there are three terms involved in it. In both of them there are three terms. Okay, in the first also, and the second is an example of a trinomial polynomial. Okay, now we want to learn a power of a term. If you consider the first example is x cube plus x square plus x. So there are three terms, 1, 2, 3. If we just think of the first term x cube, the power of x is 3. So the power of this term is 3. Similarly, x square, the power of x is 2. Okay, and the last term is x. If nothing is written on the power of any variable, that means it is 1. Correct? So the power of last term is nothing but 1. Okay, so in this example, we wrote power of each of the term. Correct? The first term has power 3, second term has a power 2, the last term has a power 1. Similarly, can we think of this? First of all, it is a trinomial polynomial. This entire is a one term. Whenever there is a multiplication, it is considered as a one term only, or a division. Whenever there is a plus or a minus sign, the terms get separated. This is a separate term, this is a separate term. M into n is a single term. Okay, so with that concept in our hand, let's see the power of this term. Okay, in this m, the variable m has a power 3. Correct? So variable m has a power 3. But does this term has only m in it? No, it has n also. Correct? So we'll think of the power of n also. The power of n is 6. But we are interested in the power of the term. So entire term has a power 3 and 6. So we just write 3 plus 6, that is 9. So the power of first term is 9. Okay. Similarly, we go for the second term. Over here the power of m is 2, power of n is 3. If you want the power of the entire second term, then it should be 2 plus 3, that is 5. Okay, we go for this. Over here nothing is written on the power of m, that means it should be 1. Similarly nothing is written, that means power of n is also 1. So it is 1 plus 1, that is 2. Okay, so power of the first term is 9, power of the second term is 5, power of the third term is 2. Now there come an interesting concept. This is clear, we can go forward. What we have learned is the power of individual terms. Now comes the concept of degree of a polynomial. Okay, so this entire polynomial, first polynomial, we know how to find the power of each of them. But if the question is asked, what is the degree of a polynomial? Degree of a polynomial is nothing but the highest power. Okay, so we got the 3 different power. Which is the highest among them? 3. Then degree of this polynomial is 3. Correct? What we have wrote, how we wrote this 3? So 3 is nothing but the highest power among this. Okay. Similarly, we try to answer this. What will be the degree of this polynomial? If this question is asked, we just have to find the highest power. We know the power are 9, 5 and 2. Highest among them is 9. So degree of this polynomial is 9. Okay. So we have learned 2 things. Power of a terms, and the highest power in that polynomial is known as a degree of that polynomial. Okay. In this we will learn the type of polynomial based on the degree of a polynomial. Just now we learned what is a degree of a polynomial, right? The highest power is known as a degree. This classification is for the polynomial in only one variable. The polynomial should have only one variable, then only we have classified into 3 parts that we will learn in this standard, that is linear, quadratic and cubic. Okay, so it is simple. If there is a linear equation, what is the meaning of a linear polynomial? Sorry, the linear polynomial. The first type is a linear. Linear means a line. A line means which has a degree as a 1. What is the meaning of a degree of a polynomial being 1? That means the highest power in that polynomial should be 1. In general, it will be of the form ax plus b, where a cannot be equal to 0. Why this a cannot be equal to 0? Yes, if suppose by chance if this a is equal to 0, that means 0 into x plus b. What is 0 into x? It is 0. So it is nothing but same as b, right? If a equal to 0, then I can write this is same as b. If this is same as b, it is known as a constant polynomial and its degree is 0. But we know it should have a degree as 1. So we should have a not equal to 0. So a linear polynomial is a polynomial in one variable such that whose degree is 1. Randomly I took an example as 5x plus 3. Correct? If I write just 5x, still it is a linear polynomial since the power of this term is 1 and there is only one term, the highest is also 1. So the degree of this polynomial is 1. Correct? So we got to know this is nothing but an example of a linear polynomial. Okay. The second type of polynomial based on the degree for a one variable is known as a quadratic polynomial. Quadratic means the degree is 2. Okay, so whenever the degree of a polynomial in a one variable polynomial is 2, it is known as a quadratic polynomial. In general, it could be written as ax square plus bx plus c. Power is 2, 1 and 0. Highest power is 2, degree is 2, it is known as a quadratic. Again, the same concept will let me know that a cannot be equal to 0. Correct? If a is equal to 0, this term vanishes, it becomes bx plus c, which is equivalent to the linear. If this b is not equal to 0, getting the point? So, whenever the degree of a polynomial is 2, it is known as a quadratic. For an example, if I give you an example of 2x square plus 5. Over here, the degree is 2, degree is 0, power is 2, power is 0, the highest power is 2, hence the degree is 2, hence it is known as a quadratic. Correct? In this situation, if I compare with the general example, my value of b is equal to 0, that is fine. Correct? But my a cannot be equal to 0. My a ka value is 2, c value is 5, b is 0. Getting the point? So this is an example of a quadratic polynomial. Okay. Based on degree, the third type of a polynomial in one variable is known as a cubic polynomial. We have learned one is known as linear, two is known as a quadratic, then cubic will be for 3. Whenever the power, the degree of a polynomial is 3, it is known as a cubic polynomial. I have wrote the general polynomial. It will look like ax cube plus bx plus cx plus d, where a cannot be equal to 0. By the similar concept, I can justify why a is not equal to 0. Correct? So, what can be the example of a cubic polynomial? I should think of a polynomial which has a highest power as 3. The most simple is x cube. Correct? But if I write x cube minus x plus 1, it is also fine. Correct? So, this is one of an example of a cubic polynomial. Okay?